12 relationship mistakes to avoid in your 20s. The 20s are a wonderful time frame to be in a relationship. You're full of energy, passion, dreams, aspirations, and love. And that's great. When it comes to relationship though, there are a few things you must learn to attract the right partner and maintain a great relationship. Keep these 12 mistakes in mind and avoid them at all costs if you plan on having a relationship in your 20s. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing marvelous. I'm doing fantastic, and if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Now, today I want to talk to you about 12 relationship mistakes to avoid in your 20s. Number one, not trusting your partner enough. Trust is very important, right? I mean, it is a cornerstone of our relationship, right? Especially for those people who are in their 20s. So the thing here is that you have to trust the person you're in a relationship with. Don't hack their phone. Don't hack their computer, emails. You know, this is not going to solve anything, right? So what I'm trying to say here is you can be a little concerned about some kind of behavior. So don't be naive. However, you don't want to start, penetrating their privacy. It's very important. Now, if the situation arises and you feel that there's some kind of cheating going on or some kind of unexplained behavior, what you want to do is you want to have an honest conversation with a person, right? Because you have to understand, in any relationship, some people want to have their part of privacy. Now, how much of privacy is allowed in the relationship depends upon the partners. So you got to have trust. If you decide to live your life with someone, to be in the same apartment or house with someone, there has to be a minimum of trust. All right. So make sure that you stick to your privacy level so that he or she can also stick to her privacy level. It's very important. You got to find a common ground so that you both are very happy, are very comfortable in their relationship. Now, number two, ditching or ghosting your friends. This is another one. It's very important. Now, once you're in a relationship, some people just totally cut out their friends. They forgot about the friends. They don't hang out anymore. Remember, you don't want to burn bridges. Nowadays, 50% of Americans are single because of past failed relationships. So you might need your friends one of those days if your relationship goes sour. So it is important to not exclude yourself from your social circle. All right, it's very important. You can hang out with your partner 24/7, some days in the week, but once a month or twice a month. It's very important to start, establishing some kind of relationship. It is very important. You want to maintain, the quality of life. You want to maintain a balance between your privacy and your social life. Now, when I'm talking about friends, I'm also talking about your colleagues, your relatives. So that's very important. Don't ditch them and don't ghost them. Number three, constantly nagging. Now, remember, in any relationship, there are moments when your partner does something that you're not happy with, right? You're very pissed off. This happens. It happens with adults. It happens with everybody. But don't nag. When you have a situation where you're not happy, don't nag, because nagging is very immature. It's in some cases childish. You want to appear as a responsible young adult that you are, right? You want to calmly discuss the matter with your partner. You want to have an honest conversation where you can speak your mind, what you like, what you didn't like. This is very important. Number four, not keeping your relationship private. Now, I know we live in an era of social media. We live in an era of open books. Everybody wants to post their latest trip on Facebook. When they're kissing, when they're having fun on Facebook. That's pretty good. However, it is important to keep a great portion of your relationship private, right? You don't want everybody to start everyone to peek into your privacy unless you are a celebrity or unless this is part of your career. You don't want to do that. You want to keep things private. There is an old proverb that says that if you want to live longer, you want to live hidden. You want to live secretive. Now, I'm not saying you got to go somewhere in the Himalayas and cut cut connections with civilization, but what you want to do is make sure that you embrace your relationship as something precious, and you nurture it and you cultivate it. If people have to know about your relationship, maybe this could be on the day or on the wedding day, right? You can post some of your wedding pictures on the internet. That's fine, because you want to celebrate stuff with your friends or with other people, but don't make it a habit to constantly post images and pictures about your images and videos about your relationship on social media. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you here, and we are continuing about the 12 relationship mistakes to avoid in your 20s. I've already given you 4. I'm going to give you 4 more. Now, before I do that, if you love the content you're hearing right now, if you believe we're adding value to your life, consider subscribing to our channel. Subscribe right now, and turn on the notification bell so you are aware whenever we drop a new show. When we do so every single day, rain or shine. Comment below, give us your input about the whole relationship thing, whether you believe we missed out on some mistakes or whether we went wrong on certain mistakes. We want to get your opinion. All right, share this content. A lot of young folks out there need to know this to avoid those mistakes and ruin their lives. And also like it if you believe that we are doing something great. Number 5, not making time for a date night and not taking it seriously. Now, this is very important, folks. If you are in a relationship, you got to have time where you celebrate your relationship. You find quality time with your significant other, right? Some people call it date night. Some people call it, night, whatever the name you give it. It's very important. You got to take it seriously. Now, you need to make time. This could be once a week, once every 2 weeks, or 1 week, or 3 days in a month. Whatever it is, whatever works for you and your partner, do it. But you got to do it. Now, I've seen, while preparing for this show, our production team has seen that having a date night once a week is pretty good, because you want to establish some kind of consistency, right? You want to have something done regularly so that you're able to cultivate ties, you're able to solidify ties with your significant other. This is very important. Now, the thing is, this is particularly important for young couples, right? Because they constantly go out, they spend time with their friends, they go to school, they work, and they might not have time to meet or to have a date night. Now, again, you want to have those things. Now, you don't have to go out. I'm not saying for the date night you have to go out and spend $100 on a fancy romantic dinner. No, you can have a nice dinner. You can have a romantic dinner at home, right? But while you're doing that, one rule of thumb is to cut off the cell phone. You want to make sure the cell phone is off, and you want to be as mindful as possible. Be in the moment. All right, celebrate your relationship. It is something great. It is something real. It is something solid. Number 6, not enjoying your time together and being adventurous and wild sometimes. You've got to be wild sometimes. You have to be adventurous. You have to be crazy. You're young. Enjoy your life. Enjoy it passionately. Enjoy the presence of your partner, right? Enjoy your time. Go out to a trip. Go to a concert. Go to the movies. Whatever it is, enjoy. Because this is what's going to create the solid foundation your relationship needs for future success. If you're able to put a lot of good moments into the database, quote unquote database of your relationship, when hard times come, you'll be able to go back to those memories, those souvenirs, and say, wow, times were good. We had great moments together, right? So you want to build that greatness, that 80% that is so necessary when it comes to relationship success. You want to build that so that when the 20% of conflicts, of arguments, of nagging comes out, you're able to fall back on that 80% and say, we have something solid here. All right. So enjoy moments together. Don't take yourself that seriously, right? You make jokes. You want to laugh about everything and anything, right? And trying to find time to do things together, right? You can, if you have hobbies, if you have favorite activities, if you want to go to parties, if you want to go to hiking in nature and just be by yourself, try to put more of those activities in your agenda. Number 7, not being yourself and letting your partner do the same. You want to be yourself, right? Don't send your representative into your spokesperson into the relationship. No, be yourself, be real, right? The more real you are, the better, because your partner can adapt to you very quickly. But if you keep changing personalities, if you keep throwing out a persona out there, the kind of persona you think he or she wants to see, you are constantly putting your relationship at risk, right? So you want to let yourself and your special someone be themselves, right? There is a reason why you are attracted to this person in the first place, right? So don't, this is very important. So you are who you are. You are who you are. And, on the flip side here, never let someone change you. Never let someone try to change you. Now, I'm not saying that the person cannot give you a little bit of advice here and there. Nobody's perfect. We all get that. But don't let someone change you fundamentally. There is a reason why this person found you attractive in the first place. So once he or she is into the relationship, he or she shouldn't try to change you, right? If you keep changing your personality to suit someone, God forbid, if you had 10 relationships in your life, you will be changing your personality 10 times. It is very, very tiring. It is very exhausting to not be yourself. So stick to who you are and try to correct some of those weaknesses, those personality weaknesses that we all have, when needed. Number 8, holding grudges. Never hold grudges. When you are in your 20s or 30s or 40s for that matter, never hold grudges. Very important, because grudges destroy you. Holding grudges is destructive to you, the person holding grudges. You kind of, and there is expensive literature, there is comprehensive research out there that shows the disadvantages, the detriment that holding grudges brings into your body, in your mind. You have some hormonal changes, you have some detrimental hormonal changes, you have other stuff going on in your mind. You're constantly depressed, you're not happy, right? All of those effects are deleterious to you, and you don't want to engage in that. Holding grudges also destroys your partner. You don't want to inflict harm upon your significant other, right? So this is very important to respect that, to know that whatever is going on through your mind, unless you communicate, unless you have an honest conversation, in the long run, this could be destructive to you and your significant other. And ultimately, when both of you are destroyed, quote unquote, the relationship itself is in shatters, right? There's nothing else left because both partners are already diminished. So, holding grudges is bad. Trying to solve problems as soon as possible, either on the same day or the day before, or the day after rather. You want to give yourself this 24 hour or 48 hour cut-off time where you are able to sit down, where when the emotions are low or stable, you're able to sit down and talk about what the relationship, what the issue was, and talk about it in a calm, peaceful, and compromising manner, right? That's the cornerstone of a good relationship. You want to have compromise on sensitive issues. You want to have compromise. You want to move the needle to the center on sensitive issues. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you here, and I really enjoy sharing sharing the tips here and having this conversation with you. And we're still continuing our 12 relationship mistakes to avoid in your 20s, and I've given you 8 already. I have 4 more to go. Number 9, always letting one partner pick the dinner tab. Now, it's very important that when you're in your 20s, both you and your significant other are working. Both of you are still trying to build a career, build a savings account, build a credit report, credit history. So you both are not significantly rich unless you come from, you were born with a silver spoon. Now, so it is very important to alternate who pays the bill when you go out, right? Just take turns at paying the bill, right? And this is very important because it will keep your relationship balanced in the long run. I mean, believe it or not, a lot of issues in relationships arise because of money. So, if one person feels the pressure, one person feels some kind of anxiety because all expenses are upon him or her, you don't want that, right? You definitely don't want that. So this is very important to make sure that you are there and to make sure that you are comfortable having the relationship set up properly from the get-go. Number 10, not setting reasonable, honest expectations. Now, the most important rule when it comes to any kind of dating or relationship is to be clear about your expectations when it comes your expectations for the relationship, and you got to set those clearly and properly at the beginning, right? Because if you want to have someone live with you and share your apartment, your life with you over the long term, it's better to know that person and to set the rules of engagement early on, right? Now, I'm not saying it's always critical, but it is helpful. Now, having said that, if you're looking for someone just to have sex, just to have a one-night stand or 1 week stand, whatever you want to call it, then yes, then it's not important. It's not important to go that seriously deep. But if you're looking for a partner for life, the father of your children or the mother of your children, the great grandfather or the great grandmother that you want to share your life with, then you want to pay attention to that when it comes to honest expectations. Number 11, not communicating properly and regularly. Now, it is very important when it comes to communication in a couple. There, 3 things are critical when it comes to couple communication. Number 1, tone. I mean the pitch. When you're having a conversation, are you raising your voice? Are you lowering your voice? Whatever you're doing, you got to pay attention to that, right? This is very critical. Number 2, the content. The content of the conversation. This is another thing you want to pay attention to, right? This is very critical. And the last thing you want to do is the frequency, right? Frequency is very key. You want to pay attention to those things so that you are comfortable. Now, so tone, content, and frequency. Now, when you manage those 3 things properly, you're able to handle conflict in a good way. You can approach conflict management communication in an effective way. All right, because you have to understand that every relationship will have its ups and downs, right? But you want to communicate, and you want to do this on a daily basis. I'm talking about daily basis. When I was talking about date nights, I said, well, it could be done once a week, right? That's okay. But when it comes to relationships, when it comes to communication, it has to be daily. On a daily basis, you want to share your concerns, your thoughts, your dreams, your aspirations about everything with your significant other, right? Now, the thing here is that be an effective listener. Be a thorough listener as your partner is talking, and you want to communicate accordingly. You want to share your interest, your feelings, your aspirations also with your significant other, right? This is very important. If you're not living in the same city, if you're not living under the same roof, try to talk on the phone, right? Use WhatsApp, use Skype, see each other. You want to see emotions, nonverbal communication. You want to be with a person at least once a day. Number 12, not having a mentor. Having a mentor is very important if you are in your 20s and you are in a relationship or you are about to start a relationship. Why do you need a mentor? A mentor will be there to guide you. A mentor generally is somebody older than you, way older, somebody who can be your dad or mom or your granddad or grandmother, somebody who has lived, who has experience when it comes to relationships, when it comes to families, when it comes to just living with someone else. It's very important. Now, you need to entrust your relationship to someone who has never been who has been in relationship. If the person has never been married, has never had some kind of relationships, it's difficult. Having said that, it is okay if you have a mentor who is a religious person, right? Because some religious congregations do not allow marriage, but it's still okay. You can get good advice from them, because those people, those nuns and monks, to use on the Christian side, or some of those monks also on the Buddhism side, they are very experienced. They have a long view of life and human relationships, so they can give you some kind of distant, some kind of potent advice when it comes to relationship. Now, you need to have a mentor for hard moments, but also for good moments. When you want to make a significant decision, you can just reach out to a mentor and ask their opinion. If you are fighting with your significant other, when there is conflict, you want to get a second opinion and a third opinion, so you don't make a mistake. Sometimes it is hard to have this sort of unbiased opinion from the parents, because the parents are not very objective. The parents want to protect their child in the first place, right? So if you talk to your dad or mom, his or her interest is first to protect you, because they see the other person as the guilty party, right? So you want to reach out to someone who can give you a quiet, unbiased opinion, right? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are about to wrap up today's show right now. So I was talking to you about 12 relationship mistakes to avoid in your 20s. If you like the content of this show so far, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Also want to tell you to like this content, share, and comment below. Give us your experience. We want to share the intellectual wealth with all our community members. The Sweetie Kiwi Show wants to expand its base, and plans to release new shows every single day, rain or shine. Now, here is a recap of today's conversation. Number 12 relationship mistakes. Number 1, not trusting your partner enough. 2, ditching or ghosting your friends. 3, constantly nagging. 4, not keeping your relationship private. 5, not making time for a date night and not taking it seriously. 6, not enjoying your time together and being adventurous and wild sometimes. Number 7, not being yourself and letting your partner do the same. Number 8, holding grudges. Number 9, always letting one partner pick the dinner tab. Number 10, not setting reasonable, honest expectations. Number 11, not communicating properly and regularly. Number 12, not having a mentor. Right? So now, what are some tips for having a great relationships? I mean, this is a call to action here, and I'm giving you extra tips here. Communicate. I said that before. You want to be honest. Give each other some space. Like I said, privacy is important sometimes. Agree to disagree. It's okay. You don't have to agree on everything, right? Forgive. Don't hold grudges, and ask for forgiveness. You want to support each other, and when it comes to intimacy, talk about it, right? Talk about it openly and honestly. If you have a problem, or if there's a problem about sex, talk about those things openly and honestly. All right? Now, here is a pro tip. The most important element when it comes to having a long-term relationship, a solid one, is to love yourself. You need to be comfortable with who you are. If you are a happy person, your partner will feel that, and he or she will also be happy, right? You are able to be more empathetic, grateful. You are able to support your partner more, but you gotta love yourself. Self-love is very important. Self-love gives self-worth, self-confidence, self-respect, all of which are important elements in any relationship, especially when you're starting out, quote unquote, and you are in your 20s and you're starting out in the dating market. It's very important. All right, I will see you next time, and until then, stay marvelous.